Hi and welcome to Teardrops. I am so excited about this video. You will be able to do such an amazing pendant for Valentine's Day, if that's what you choose to do. Right now we're making the inserts. I'm just using some glow powder to be able to put into my resin. It just gives it some substance, and I just like the texture of it. You can put in anything you like, mica powder, it doesn't really matter. It just needs to be translucent enough for it to cure. So I just go ahead and use the glow powders because I just like the way that they feel and look in my hand when I'm working with them, for no other reason. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue making these, and when we're done making these, we will start the next process, and I will be back. Now that we're done making our inserts, we're going to cover them with a little tiny bit of resin, and that's why I put those little finger gloves on, whatever you want to call them. And I will be covering them with this Let's Resin Chameleon powder. Oh, I love this color. It is so beautiful. It is probably the best red I have ever purchased. I was so excited when I did this and saw the beautiful red it was. But anyway, to get back on track, I'm going to coat each one of these, and I coat them pretty good. Then after they're coated, I stick them under the UV light for just a few minutes, maybe a minute and a half at the most. And I just cure it to stabilize the resin that I put on there with the powder. You'll find that it won't come off real easy, but it will come off. Then after it's cured for a minute, I do coat it with more resin, and I coat it on all sides. And that way, when you put it in your piece and add your clear resin, there will not be any red bleeding from the mica powder, or chrome powder, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and let this part of the process finish, and then when we get to the point of putting everything into the mold, I will be back with you. So right now we're just going to be covering these with resin, and we will be moving on to the next spot in a moment. Well, we are almost done with the coverage of these pieces. We just need to do the bottom. It's important that you get the sides too. I'm going to go ahead and cure the bottom of these. Oh my gosh, doing this has just been amazing how much it has opened up a world of color to me. These chrome colors are just so much fun to work with. I've been coloring everything with it. I can't wait to share some of my other pieces that I've been making. But this one is a special one. This is all about Valentines. I hope you have a Valentine. So I'm just going to continue on here painting these, or I should say putting resin on them, curing them. And then I'm going to be adding resin to it. I take those out because those create a lot of bubbles when you put them in. So I only want to have to create bubbles one time because it's so important with this piece that you keep it as bubble free as possible. And as you look at them, you'll see why, because you could see every little nook and cranny of detail of what is or is not wrong. So you have to be very careful to make sure you get out as many bubbles as possible. Or you could like the look of bubbles and add some in. I do that with some of my stuff too. So I'm just going to go along here and debubble as much as possible. And this is the first layer that I'm putting on. I'm going to cure it. And then we will move on to putting the rest of the pieces in, the last two. And then we're going to be doing the coloring of the outside. So I'm going to let you continue watching this, as you notice that I'm still in the process of creating. And this is how I do things. I never know exactly how it's going to turn out until it's done, because I just kind of go with the flow. So that's what I'm doing here, is going with the flow, and I decided that I'm just going to put these two pieces in at each of the crook of the hearts, and I thought they looked great, and so I'm just kind of going with it. I really like this look. So I'm going to let you continue on until we get to the coloring of the outside. I'm going to be encasing it in Chameleon flakes, and it's going to be really amazing how it makes it look like it's in a bale. It is, or not a bale, a bezel. It's pretty amazing. It really is. I'm so thankful I discovered this, and I'm sure I will be continue discovering more and more. And who knows, maybe somebody else has discovered it too, and I just didn't know it. So I'm going to let you finish watching this part of the process until we get to putting on the chameleon flakes on the outside. So I will see you in a moment. Yes, we are getting out those little finger gloves, whatever you want to call them. They're wonderful for keeping stuff off your fingers, but you will see I will make a mess. Anyway, we're going to put a little bit of resin on this, and we are going to do just a really quick, maybe a 15-second at the most cure. And then once it's still sticky, I'm going to be taking some of these chameleon flakes. They're the intense from Let's Resin. And I am coating the entire back and side. And you will see I'm going to be using a lot. Not by choice. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing this, and you're going to see that I really buff things down, and I push hard, and I try and get it into every crook and cranny that I can. Oh, there you go. See, there's my mess. Yeah, my klutzy self. I try and clean up what I can, and then I just kind of use it the rest. So as we keep moving here, you're going to see what I'm doing. You're going to see that I am taking the disaster and using it to my benefit. I'm just going to put everything I can on it and then clean it up. So once I get it all on here, we are going to have to clean the front really good. I will eventually have to sand it because those flakes like to stick, and the only thing sometimes that gets it off is sanding. So that's what I did, was sand it. But right now I just want to cure the back, and you can see how it does still come off, even though it's been cured on. So here we go. I'm sanding the front, and then once this is completely polished and gotten all the chameleon flakes off, wait till you see how it comes alive when we put some resin on it. And I think the way that the colors came out on this are just absolutely phenomenal. It is such a beautiful piece and so easy to make. I don't think it took me more than an hour to make this entire thing from beginning to start. So what I'm using there is resin. I just put it in these little containers sometimes so that it makes it easier to coat my piece. So I'm going to continue on coating it here and making it look beautiful because there's not a lot to do on this piece other than keeping it bubble free. That's the reason why you're seeing me using my lighter constantly on this thing. So I'm going to let you finish watching this part, and when we get to the end, I will be back. Well, how fun was this? Simplicity and beauty all at once. I hope you enjoyed this. I sure did. These are so much fun to make, and they're very quick. Please subscribe and like. I appreciate it. I will see you soon.